Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3 back with another kickin' vlog video. Last time we vlogged about the future of the Monsterverse, and this vlog is kind of a spin-off of that vlog. Should Kong Skull Island get a sequel? Now obviously at this point in time, we have no idea how the Godzilla vs. Kong movie is going to go. Is Kong going to die in that movie? Seems unlikely. His marquee value is a little too high for that. Plus they bothered fitting him into this universe. I very much doubt Kong will die in that movie. I think he will lose. But I do not think he will die. So what is the future for Kong if he survives that movie? Well, he needs a new film. Kong Skull Island should get a sequel. And I have a pretty cool idea for one if you're interested in hearing it. Because, I mean, people liked Kong Skull Island. The hype in the monster movie community for Godzilla vs. Kong seems pretty real. I think he can handle it. So, this idea, once again, is being created with no knowledge of what happens in Godzilla vs. Kong. Kong will probably fight Godzilla in a city-like setting, or at least appear in a city-like setting. But after Godzilla and Kong's fight, Kong goes back to Skull Island. But a volcano or something erupts. The island kind of implodes because of the hollow earth or whatever. Lots of the monsters are able to escape back to the hollow earth, but many of them are unable to and have to flee out to sea, including Kong himself. Now these monsters end up on the mainland, where humans live, and they don't know where to go. They've been forced out of their natural habitats into cities, much like deer or other animals in real life. And they're just running amok, looking for food. They don't know what to do. They're fighting each other for resources. Kong is trying to keep them in check, because that's like his deal. He's the balance dude. Kong is trying to keep them in check, but is having some trouble. And eventually the humans kind of work with Kong, because Kong does have a history of working with humans, to kind of corral these monsters to a new home. A home that they could call Monster Island. You know, and that could set up Monster Island for the Monsterverse, which could be an area where Monarch relocates giant monsters that lose their natural habitat. Just like in Destroy All Monsters, they had Monsterland. Just like in the IDW comic Godzilla Rulers of Earth, they had Monster Islands. You know, that could be an island where they relocate monsters at the end of movies if the monster doesn't die. And so Monster Island could be just like a regular place that we visit in the Monsterverse. I think that would be a good idea. There's a lot of potential for a Kong movie. The thing about a new Kong movie is it has to be very creative, for one thing, because there have been many Kong movies, just like there have been many Godzilla movies, even though he hasn't had nearly as many. So we need really creative settings for Kong. Not that my idea was super creative or anything, but I think it would work well in the Monsterverse. Also, the movie cannot take place on Skull Island. The first movie for the Monsterverse took place entirely on Skull Island. It cannot take place on Skull Island. We've seen Skull Island, we've been there for that movie, we've been there for the comic, and we're also probably going to go there again for at least a little while in Godzilla vs. Kong. So we really need to just be on that island maybe briefly in that movie and then quickly change locations, because we don't need to dwell on Skull Island forever. And as I said, Kong and friends should be relocated from Skull Island, because that would put him kind of with other monsters in the Monsterverse, so we could see Kong more often, you know? Who doesn't want to see Kong more often? Kong's a cool monster, you know? He's a lot like other monsters. He's able to show a lot of emotion, you know? And I think that's one of the good things that people like about Kong, is that Kong can show so much emotion that you can actually relate to Kong. It's hard to relate to Godzilla, you know what I mean? Even in the movies where he's more sympathetic and stuff, you can't relate to Godzilla, but you can relate to Kong. You can feel Kong. Feel him all up. Whoa, he's got Kong Daddy. Sorry. But I honestly think that another Kong movie in the Monsterverse is a must-have. if you're going to have a cinematic universe, it can't be built entirely around Godzilla. You need other monsters. I also think Rodan should get a solo film. I think Mothra should get a solo film, etc., etc., etc. There's just so much to do and so little time. We got to get this MonsterVerse going, people! We got to make plans for post-2020, because Legendary says they want to make more films after 2020, and I want to see more. I want to see as many kaiju films as possible. There's no such thing in my mind as too many kaiju films. I will never, ever, ever get tired of them. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. My boy Kong and I are going to dab on out of here. And I'll see you all later.